Hey everybody, this is Mike at digitalnomad.net. I'm over here at the Cuenca airport, as you can see. Not Cuenca, Quito. I'm in Ecuador, but I'm at the Quito airport. This is the highest elevation city in the world, 9,000 feet above sea level. We're waiting here to go to Cuenca. I went to a quick video on the Tesla Model X. Uh-oh, there's a dog going crazy over there. In the airport. Anyway, I've got a Tesla Model X, as you guys know. I want to talk about it. I basically want to get to the point right away and tell you that these are all defective. I've had some conversations recently which prompted me to make this video, kind of a comprehensive video talking about why it's defective. Let's get back into the history first of all. Tesla Model X is built off the Model S platform. Unfortunately, the Model S platform was originally designed as a rear-wheel drive only car and didn't leave enough space to mount a motor straight on without things in the way, like steering components and other things. And originally Tesla was built a company that wasn't necessarily going to survive. And there was many times when it almost went out of business. So they added the all-wheel drive later in the Model S after a few years. And then of course the Model X came out, is only all-wheel drive. But just like Model S had problems with alignment, meaning that that motor wasn't in a straight shaft, wasn't in a straight alignment. And because of that, the CV joints are at weird angles. They're designed to be at all angles, but they're not designed to be at super weird angles for an electric motor which has massive amounts of torque all the time. Okay, that's part of the problem with electric cars and powerful electric motors. So when Model X came along, it's basically like a jacked up Model S platform. And because of that, it's like jacking up a truck. You're gonna mess up with the drive shafts. They're gonna be at even weirder angles. So Model X and Model S have the same problem with the front end driveline vibration. The only way to solve them is to drop it down to the lowest position, and of course then you have massive rear tire wear problems, and that's a whole other story. But this is why the Model X is a defective design overall. And think about it, I'm recording this video in January 2022. Did you ever see some big launch of the Model X, even though they didn't produce them for about a year and a half? I mean, the best time to buy a Model X would have been about a year and a half ago, right before they stopped production. You could have got one for like $40,000, no problem. But now the prices have skyrocketed because of demand, but there was no release of it, right? You saw the big release of Model S Plaid, but there was never any fanfare or release for Model X. Why? Because Elon Musk knows it's a defective car. He's even said this in shareholders meetings, like around 2018 time. He's even been documented in notes in shareholders meetings. He says that they made a mistake on Model X. It's definitely known, it's admitted by Elon Musk and Tesla. And of course, you may know that I'm involved with an attorney, Ketterer and Ketterer. Andrew Ketterer is an awesome guy. We're trying to get a class action lawsuit involved here, and unfortunately, Tesla's got a team of like 6 attorneys now lined up against us. I kind of knew this when I talked to Andrew. I said originally you're gonna be dealing with Elon Musk directly. That's kind of what's going on right here. We're okay with time frame now because the company's never going to go bankrupt. As you probably know, that Tesla is the largest automaker in the world. They're the largest robot company in the world. They are going to take the world by storm. Most people still don't understand how great this company is and how great they're going to be. But they still are producing this defective product, the Model X. Now with Model 3, the smaller sedan, that was built on its own platform, all-wheel drive from the beginning. And then Model Y also was built on its own platform, all-wheel drive from the beginning. It's not a modified Model 3, it's its own platform. They made up for that mistake. Elon Musk, like I said, he knows, he admitted that. So these are some of the reasons why Model X is defective and you can never fix it. Now, something else you may know, that we've gone through 2 iterations of TSBs on the front drive shafts, because the front drive shafts wear the bearings in the races. They get unstable, they get a lot of play in there, and they start to vibrate. They're fine when they replace them, but every Model X is suffering from this. If you don't believe me, give me your car. Just message me here on wherever you see me through YouTube. I'll drive your car, and in 10 minutes I'll get the thing to vibrate, because they're all defective. And I'll do things that are not illegal, by the way, and not abusive to the car. It's just the way it's designed. And so you got to ride low. When you ride super low, the ride is harsh like a race car. When you ride up high, the vibration is even worse. When you ride up high, you get good tire wear on the back. When you ride low, you get inner tire wear. It's horrible. So you got to talk to Don Patashny, Don Ryan. I can't remember what his last name is. Anyway, Don P over at Intuitive. They make some awesome parts to fix that rear problem, but they still can't fix the front problem. We've talked with engineers, Don and I know some people who know some people, so good to have friends. We've talked, and nobody really has any drive shafts for these powerful front motors on the wheels that steer. It's not a problem in the back because the wheels don't steer in the back, right? But it's a problem in the front. That's why it's defective. That and the rear tire wear, because from the factory Tesla you cannot adjust the camber, but with these awesome parts from Don at Intuitive you can adjust the camber, so you can at least solve that part of the equation. The front though is going to require all new tooling at millions and millions of dollars, as we found out from the engineers. No one's willing to do it yet, but they will eventually. But the kicker here is that it's going to require a much wider diameter drive shaft, okay? That's going to go through these CV joints on the front end, which is going to require larger suspension parts that are going to have larger openings to house this. So whether those can be retrofitted to the X and S, we don't know. But maybe Don or other people will develop these suspension parts that will be bigger openings to put those wider drive shafts in, if and when they're developed. I think it's only a matter of time until they're developed, because almost all the drive shafts out there in the market are designed for ICE vehicles, internal combustion engines, and those are of course gasoline and diesel powered engines which have transmissions, because they're not making constant massive torque all the time. They have to keep shifting gears to keep in that sweet spot. So they're not constant. It's never going to be as detrimental, like exponentially detrimental, as a powerful torquey electric motor is. Think about that, okay? If you've ever been a doubter of electric motor cars, this is why they're so awesome, okay? And there's almost no play in that either, and because of that, it will tear up the bearings through any kind of power turns that you make within legal speed limits. That's the bottom line. And especially like if you're at a higher suspension level too. Although Tesla does drop the maximum power output of those motors, it's at the least on the high, and it goes all the way down to when you hit to the very low, it gives you full maximum power output, so you get faster acceleration times, believe it or not. But that only does so much. It doesn't fix the problem. So anyway, I think I've comprehensively covered this whole thing in about 7 minutes of constant talking. I've done this in one take. It's unbelievable. And I had a good sleep on the planes. Had a couple plane flights over here from Miami, USA, in Florida, the great state of Florida, and over here at Ecuador, which is basically like a territory of the United States. You guys may know they use the US dollar. They're even more strict than the US during this pandemic, which is kind of scary, but I think it's also because it's an awesome place to be. And in my mind, my own little take on that is they don't want people immigrating over here. They want them to stay in the US. So it's a political thing as far as I'm going. Well, the whole pandemic is, but that's a whole other story for a video. Anyway, I got my mask on because I'm required to here. And everybody, leave me your questions below. Please like this video if you got some value out of it. Please pass it along to other friends. But remember, every Model X is defective, severely defective. Every Model S is defective for the same reasons. Model S to a lesser degree than Model X, because as you know, Model S rides much lower to the ground than Model X. But that's the basic idea here. I think you guys get it, and I want you to pass it along. Share this with your Model X groups. If people are wondering about this, why this Model X has a driveline, this one doesn't. No, they all have a driveline vibration problem. They all have a massive inner tire wear problem where your tires are going to blow out because they look like they're brand new on the outside unless you climb underneath of them. And I've got a bunch of videos on this too. So search up my channel, adigitalnomad.net. Thanks so much for being a subscriber, a watcher, and smashing that like button. And let's get the word out to people. We love Tesla, but this is unbelievable that it still goes on today. But I cannot in good conscience unload my vehicle on somebody else at this point, because I know what it is. Tesla knows what it is. And unfortunately, I don't think this is going to be a tough lawsuit we have, because you see what Tesla's done. As a conclusion here, they have severely restricted the supply of Model X's, which has artificially inflated their price, even though they're defective vehicles on a massive scale. Think about that. Let that one set in. So I have to prove a loss to the lawsuit, but how can I prove a loss if the resale value is unbelievably high? Think about that. That's what they've done. That's what Tesla's done. Go online right now if you don't believe me. Try to order a base Model X, not the Plaid, just a regular one. It's 110 grand plus minimum price. And you have to wait 1 year to get your car from that. Okay? They haven't even produced any in about 1.5 years. So that's almost 2.5 years without being able to get a new vehicle. That's an eternity in the automotive world. Think about that. Let that sit in. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. We'll see you. Bye.